Hey, good evening, everybody. Peter Vekselman here. It's Tuesday Night Live. So glad you guys are part of tonight. So we're going to get started here in just a couple minutes. Give a chance for everybody to log in. I hope everyone's having an amazing week. I know we are here at Partner Driven. It is busy time here at Partner Driven. I could tell you that. I'm going to share some really exciting stuff that's taking place here. But I could tell you, we are like hitting on all cylinders. We are working overtime here. We have more partners than we ever have. We're doing more partner deals than we ever have. And it's just an exciting time. And I'm going to share some of the exciting news with you guys here coming up shortly. We're going to give a chance for everybody to dial in, or I guess to Zoom in, right? Nobody dials in anymore. All right, if you're on chat, I guess everyone's on chat. Let me know where you're dialing in from. What's up, Shane? What's up, Cumming, Georgia? What's up, Karen? Carl, how are you? All right, put in chat. What's up, Brad? How are you, buddy? What's up, Mr. Gordon from Delaware? What's up, Chris from Cyrus? Where is Cyrus? I don't think I know where Cyrus is. Michigan in the house being represented. What's up, Rodney? How are you, buddy? What's up? We got Sandra in Arkansas. We got Phoenix in the house. Good, Rodney. Me too. We got Tennessee in the house. Wayne. We got Joe from Greenville in the house. All right, as you guys are zooming in, let me know where you're zooming in from. I'm here, right? I am like smack dab, believe it or not. I can't see it, but if all the trees run in front of me, I'm in my place in Atlanta, and I'm literally like the office is headquartered. I live very close to Home Depot headquarters. Wouldn't you know it, right? So that's it's called Vinings, Georgia, is where I'm dialing in from tonight. So let me know where you guys are at. I got some good information for you guys tonight. Tonight, we're going to do kind of the big picture, State of the Union, what's going on, what's taking place, what's working, what's not working, where we're focusing in on, where I think you need to be focusing in on. We're going to talk a little bit about how we're doing with our partners. Again, some things that are working there, some things that are not working there. What's up, Ira? How are you? Chicago, I need to get to Chicago. We go to New York so often. What's up, James from New York? Look at that. But I love Chicago, and I used to go to Chicago quite a bit. But I need to get over to Chicago very soon again. So good evening, everybody. Again, my name is Peter Vekselman. Tonight, we're going to cover what I call the State of the Union, what actually is taking place in the real estate market. It's an ever-shifting market. It's an ever-changing market. Well, heck, it's been forever ever-shifting and ever-changing, right? That's the only thing that they say the only thing we know about real estate is that it's always going to change, okay? And we're in a very unique spot right now. And so tonight, I'm going to share with you guys some things that are working. We're going to share some things with you guys that are not working, and how to best position yourself in an environment where you are profitable and making money. So we're going to get started here in just a couple minutes, get a chance for people to get on the call. We're just talking about Zoom with some people. Gosh, a year ago, at best, we would do a meeting like this, and it would be just another thing, and nobody would think twice about it. Now we're doing this, and it's like it's the only way to do it. But interesting fact before we get started here. We were in a call here about an hour or so ago, and we were going over our live event, which, by the way, our next live event is June 26th and 27th here in Atlanta. And we had some really exciting news happen right during our meeting. We're talking about the live event and all the things we're going to be doing there, and it's going to be packed out. It's going to be like 48 hours of like over the top exciting stuff and information and networking and deals and all that kind of stuff. And right in the middle of it, one of the team members called the hotel where we're doing it at, and the hotel had limitations, and it was a weird limitation. Like during, you can only have one person per table. And so, a lot of people are bringing partners. But so one of the team members called and said, everything's off from a perspective of limitations. So now you'll be able to come to our live event, sit with your partner and really enjoy it. And by the way, if you've known us for any length of time and you've been working with us for any length of time, whether you're a partner or you're not a partner, I could tell you here right before we get rolling, please register for our live event. It's going to be amazing. Somebody could put the link up in chat. I think it's just partnerdrivenlive.com. It's partnerdrivenlive.com. I promise you, it is, those weekends are life-changing. They're life-changing for the people that come there, whether you're a partner or not a partner. But just from the perspective of the knowledge will level you up. From a perspective of understanding this business will level you up. From a perspective of implementation of this business will level you up. From a perspective of belief in the business will level you up. And yes, of course, networking. Networking is what this real estate business is really all about. Real estate, literally, in so many other businesses, you're very isolated, right? You're afraid of competition. You just just get in a cubby hole and you stay in your one lane. And like real estate's totally opposite. I give so much credit to where I've gotten to in the last 20 some years. And the deals that we've done, I give like 80 to 90% of the credit goes back to the size of my network and the people I've gotten to know. So June 26th, June 27th, come on down here to Atlanta and we will have, I promise you, an amazing, amazing weekend together. All right, so why don't we go ahead let's go ahead and let's get rolling. So again, my name is Peter Vekselman. I'm excited to be here with you guys tonight. Tonight, I'm going to deliver what I started calling as the State of the Unions. And I really started these State of the Unions back when, it's weird how we say now back when we're still kind of a little bit on the tail end of it. But back when the pandemic started, I started, people were very curious about everything back then, right? If you had a job, you were worried about that job. If you had a business, you were worried about the business. If you had a house, you were worried about the house. I mean, when the pandemic started a year or so ago, when it came to worry, I think a lot of people's worry level went up here. Now, having said that, real estate also was not an untouched business, okay? During the pandemic, real estate went through some really major changes, okay? And back then I said, you know what, a lot of people were asking me, well, what do you think? How do we react? What do we do? And I said, okay, let's do this. Every couple months, I'm gonna do literally what I call a State of the Union. Like what is taking place in the real estate industry as it relates to, let's say, specifically the pandemic and all the other after effects. And that's what we're going to do tonight. Tonight, I'm going to tell you the State of the Union, like how to correctly analyze what's taking place in the real estate market, but most importantly, how to position yourself in a way that you could profit from today's real estate market. And we're going to get to that in just a minute, but I do want to kind of take a step back. And there's some of you guys are here tonight. You know who I am, but some of you all have no idea how I am, or maybe you've heard of me. And you may not understand too much about what the partner-driven model is all about. So before we get started with the State of the Union, let me just tell you what we are and who we are. And by the way, there's two types of people on here tonight. Some of you guys are partners and you're leveling up, meaning, you understand that the more you get plugged in into the partner-driven world, the more experience you get, the more confidence you gain, the more you learn, all that stuff. So if you're a partner here tonight, glad you're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Reset, recharge, recommit, and let's get you to the next level. Some of y'all are not our partners here tonight, but you are obviously real estate advocates, meaning you are either doing real estate already or you're learning and you're ready to do deals and all this. And probably somewhere along the line, and maybe actually for quite a while, you've been following us. You've been following us and you're like, you know what, this seems like a good model. And so if you're not a partner here tonight, welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad you guys are here. I promise you that when we're done here in just a little bit, you will leave with some very valuable information that you could take wherever you are, no matter what state you're located in. And you could, if you utilize what I'm about to share with you, you will be able to capitalize on it. Okay. Now, for those of you that are interested in taking your business like really to the next level, like you're not yet a partner, but you're ready to partner, we're glad to have you. Glad to have you. I'm going to give you a chance here in a minute to actually become a partner tonight, if that's what you want to do. And what does it mean if you're a partner? What are the benefits? What's the upside of being a partner? It's very simple. Our partnership program is by the way, I am an investor by heart. If somebody asks me in the street, who I am and what do I do? I'm a real estate investor, 22 plus year veteran of this business, well over 3,000 deals completed. And how the model works now is literally we partner with everyday people across the United States, and we enable them to close real estate deals by providing what are known as pillars of success when it comes to real estate investing. So if you're a partner of ours, the first thing is we're going to show you how this thing works. We're going to coach you, mentor you, educate you. We're going to take you under our wings, and we're going to really, really get you at least from the knowledge perspective. At least from the knowledge perspective, we're going to get you to really, really understand what this business is all about. And make no mistake about it, knowledge is very important in this business. There are some businesses that knowledge is like, take it or leave it. Not real estate. If you don't know in this business, let me tell you something. Doing real estate blindly or just off the cuff, in my opinion, is about as insane as trying brain surgery blindly or off the cuff. Okay? I know that the repercussions may not be as bad, but everything else is pretty much equal. I mean, you could be out of business like that. The second pillar we provide for our partners is in terms of lead gen. We actually have systems in place that if you're a partner of ours, we will help you in the development of motivated seller leads. By the way, if you do not understand how to generate leads or where to even go to get leads in real estate, it's probably not a business worth pursuing. It's a very difficult business in terms of simply identifying good deals. The third pillar of success that we provide for our partners is we provide them technology. Technology is very important. Not having technology is like not having a cell phone. Like, how many people do you know in today's marketplace, forget real estate and anything, that don't have cell phones, right? Operating without a cell phone today is it's like going to a restaurant and just sitting there and not ordering food. It's like, why bother? Okay. So technology is critical. And so we provide our partners with incredible technology in terms of making decisions, getting information, getting access and all that. The third thing is we provide our partners with we provide our partners with capital to do deals. And I will tell you, this is a very important component. Capital is getting more and more critical in this business. Like the two strategies that we very much focus in on in our model is a short-term, quick-turn wholesale model strategy and a longer-term fix and flip strategies. Those are like the two hallmarks. We also do creative and things like that, but the two hallmarks of our business is quick-turn wholesale and a little bit longer fix and flip. Now, on the wholesale side, a lot of times before it was possible for somebody to get into real estate, start wholesaling from no other perspective than you don't need money to wholesale. Those times are changing. I can tell you almost every single wholesale deal we're involved in, we need money now. The rules, the way the wholesale strategies are executed has changed. So now the access to our capital is becoming important, even on strategies where before you didn't even need capital. So we provide all the capital to do deals with and to carry them with. So our partners spend not even $1 out of pocket on deals. The other thing I do, which is very, very important, I assume all the liability. And I promise you, even after doing this for a couple decades, there's still liability in this business. I'll give you a couple things that just happened. Last couple months, we did a deal where we lost $110,000. My partner absorbed zero. I absorbed the whole $110,000 loss. In the last couple months, we bought a property with a partner that came with a bad title. Just the closing attorneys, the title people, they all missed it. And that was a $95,000 mistake that I'm currently absorbing all the loss. So the bottom line is this: not only as a partner do you have to profit, you assume zero of the risk. So you assume zero of the risk and you assume only the upside of this business. It's an important piece. And the final piece, if a construction is ever needed, we also can help our partners with that. And then we just put all these properties in the market. We sell them with the profits down the middle, 50-50. And that's the partner-driven model. And I can tell you we're doing more partner-driven deals than we ever have. It is an exciting time to be a partner. And it's really just overall exciting time to be in the real estate business if you know what you're doing. I could tell you that I've never seen what's taking place in the real estate market today. I haven't seen it in over 2 decades. And guys, in over 2 decades, I've been through everything. I mean, I was part of the '08 crash. I lost more money in like a 6-month period during '08 than most people make in like 2 or 3 lifetimes. So I've been through some incredibly low lows. I've also been through some incredibly highs. And I could tell you, I've never seen what's taking place today. And this is why the message for today is very simple. What is the State of the Union? How do you, if you're a real estate investor, whether you're in a partner with us or you're doing it all yourself, how do you correctly interpret what's taking place? How do you correctly position yourself in a way that you could profit from it? And how do you not just spin your wheels and waste a bunch of time? Okay, because that's also very possible to do in this business. So the first thing, let me begin by telling you this. We here at the partner-driven model are very much bought into a certain lane of real estate, and that happens to be the single family lane. Now, so the focus of today's State of the Union is specifically on that, because I can tell you there are segments of real estate that I would not want to be in right now. Like right now, think about it. Let's say you owned an office building, right? Is that a perfect time to be in an office space? Probably not. Like literally, I'll tell you a personal story that happened just yesterday. So for those of you that follow me at all know I've taken a big pivot, big step into the social media here a little while ago to build out our brand, to kind of ourselves level up, right? And so what the social media people needed, what was very basic up until COVID hit, they're like, hey, we need some office shots, right? Now, before COVID hit, I could just walk into my 10,000 square foot office and have plenty of office shots. And then all of a sudden I'm realizing, wait a second, we don't have offices anymore. And then this is so funny. I took my phone out, right? I took my phone out and I started looking at all the people that I knew that had offices. And I realized no one that used to have offices is in office anymore. I finally called one of my buddies. His name is Bob. I'm like, Forbes, is the guy whose office space you were in, is he still around? He's like, yeah, he's still around. So literally, like if you're an office space owner right now, not the best time. It's probably a good time from a long-term perspective play, right? Because when the prices are like the way they are now, the confidence is not where it needs to be. This is a good time to buy them and like sit on them, because ultimately everything, makes a turnaround. So there's a lot of spaces in the real estate industry that are not doing well. What is doing extremely well is the single family space for a number of reasons, right? If you think about it, from a single family perspective, like single family homes, that is probably although, you could isolate like office space or warehouses, but there's more houses than any other spectrum of real estate, right? There's more houses than office buildings. There's more offices than warehouses. There's more offices than, storefronts or retail fronts, right? But think about this. When COVID hit about a year ago, across the board, everybody got affected equally. This is a very important piece. So if you're in this particular industry, right, like we are in real estate, and something hits, some industries, certain sectors get affected, everyone got affected when COVID hit. Now, some got affected in different ways, but everyone got affected. Okay. So what that means is this: when COVID hit, one of two things happened. Either you got hurt by it or it literally helped you out. Not very many people stayed in. Like if you talk to 100 random people, you're going to get probably, yeah, I got hurt in the last year, I went backwards, or no, I went forwards. Interestingly enough, across the spectrum, most people, believe it or not, in the United States actually went forward. Most businesses went forward. Most businesses actually were able to capitalize it and all this. So COVID actually, in essence, the big thing about it is that it hurt everybody. That's not true. It's totally not true. But the people that got hurt by it, which I think I forgot what the stats are, like 20, 25%, they got really hurt by it. And when you take like a small percentage, and 25% is not a small percentage, but when you take a smaller percentage, like a 2025, and you put it into a population like United States that has millions and millions and millions and millions of people, that 20% becomes huge, right? So what happened all of a sudden, you take 20% of homeowners, which you could just imagine what that number is, and you put them in a bad position. Okay. And when I say bad position, I mean, I'm not talking about the health things. I'm talking about financially, right? It just affected people, lost their jobs, people lost their businesses. There was uncertainty and all this. And when you're an investor, what you are looking for is you're looking for motivated sellers that really, in essence, you could help out. I mean, really, that's what it comes down to. We as investors, make no mistake about it, help a tremendous amount of people out there. We help people that get in trouble, and a lot of times they just can't get rid of their asset either fast enough, or it's not in a condition to be sold. Sometimes people think, oh, you're an investor, you're just looking for a good deal. No, well, yes, we are. But at the same time, when I'm buying that home, okay, from a homeowner that needs $50,000 worth of work, they're stuck. You think a homeowner is going to move into a house that needs $50,000 worth of work? You think a mortgage company is going to give anyone a mortgage and a house that needs $50,000 of work? So what happens, we as investors, there was this whole new class of sellers that was created for us that did not exist before, okay? Who we can go out there and solve their problems by buying their assets so they can create liquidity, okay? Number one. On the other side, we as investors make our money when we sell, right? That's how we make our money. We buy low and sell high. And this is the interesting part, because usually when you talk to real estate, there's an imbalance there. It's like too much buyers, too much sellers, not enough demand, too much demand. There's always this equilibrium, and you're playing, you're trying to work the system backwards and forwards. Well, what happened during COVID, because remember the other side of the equation, 20% people got hurt, 80% actually got better. So what happens on the demand side, the demand went through the roof. And if you're in any kind of a realistic market across the United States listening to me today, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Things are flying off the shelf. I mean, I'm in our place here in Atlanta right now. We're in a brand new subdivision. And I could tell you, before houses are being built, they're sold. Okay. The demand, things are flying off the shelf. One big reason they're flying off the shelf is it's cheap money right now. Banks' interest rates are tiny. They're all-time low. So all these consumers who did not get hurt by COVID, who actually, a lot of them prospered, are realizing, hey, this is the time to buy. Which way can the interest rates go? They could only go up. So there's a huge demand at the retail level for people to buy real estate. The second type of buyer that exists inside the real estate industry is an investor buyer, right? There's only two buyers. There's a retail buyer, a consumer buyer, a family that's going to move into the house. And then there's an investor buyer. By the way, we at Partner Driven deal with both of those buyers, okay? On the investor buyer, the demand is through the roof, bigger than we've ever seen it. Because remember, 60, 70, 80% of people prospered during COVID. And so they got to do something with their money, their cash. And if you listen to anyone who knows anything about money, the worst thing you could do right now is hold money in banks. That is like the worst kind of it's not even an investment. It's like you might as well just be giving a little bit away every single day to the local Salvation Army or the local Red Cross. So people are now looking to buy assets. And although there are many different assets to buy, the reason so much money is flocking into real estate, it's a very known asset, right? I mean, let's face it, we all grew up with knowing real estate. Not too many of us grew up knowing crypto, or not too many of our parents necessarily invested into like the silver market or the precious metal market. But real estate is something we all grew up with. So now that people have come into money and are making more money, they want to put into some assets, right? Because that's how you protect that investment. Appreciating asset, which is no question real estate is, something that's going to hold its value. So literally, and if you've been listening to me talk about real estate, we're at this equilibrium point. Huge demand by the sellers to sell, huge demand for the buyers to buy. And we as investors, we're people in the middle, right? We create these opportunities. We help the sellers get out of their problems, and we help the buyers get what they want. It's an incredible opportunity. The times have never been better in real estate than I'm seeing right now. They're about ready to get better. I'll tell you a story that I shared with a number of people. If you listened to me last night, I did a Q&A session. And this is happening more and more, but I want to point out this next example, because this is a big one. Every one of us have been living this through COVID, but very few people really understood what was taking place. So during COVID, you hear this word constantly that a lot of people didn't even know existed before COVID. And the word, as it relates to forbearance, as it relates to real estate, is forbearance, right? Like, how many people even talked about forbearance before COVID, right? That wasn't really even, now all of a sudden, forbearance. But a lot of people did not understand exactly what it means. They just knew it was a way for owners of real estate, of houses, let's say, not to have to make their monthly mortgage payments. But they knew nothing beyond that, and they knew nothing of the repercussions of really truly what forbearance was all about. So let me tell you about a real life call that I took last night from one of my partners. And the call went something like this. Hey, Pete, I just want to run a deal by you. We're buying it for $180. I like it. How much can we sell it for? $330. Love it. But then everybody knows what the key question is, right? How much repairs? Like, if it needs $300 worth of repairs, no deal. How much in repairs? Oh, really nothing in repairs. Maybe a couple $1,000s. So $180 to buy, $330 to sell. Interesting. But let me tell you how, obviously, a super duper deal. But let me tell you how forbearance played into this. My partner started working this deal a year ago when COVID just hit. And here's what the seller's reaction was back then. He said, I'm not selling because I don't have to make my mortgage payment, right? So most people, that's what all forbearance was. I don't have to make my mortgage payment. And no one really bothered to ask the next question. What's next? What's next? Because a lot of times what happens when you're given something in a silver platter, you don't even want to know what's next. You're just like, okay, give it to me. So my partner stayed in touch with the seller for a year, okay? Because all this happened about a year ago when the COVID hit, right? And all of a sudden, this deal that was no deal a year ago became a deal, because check this out. This is what a lot of people had no idea when it comes to forbearance, of what it truly means and what's next. What's next is that it's a time-sensitive event. It's a year event. And when that year expired, and I guess it expired this week for this individual, he had to start making payments. And it was more than just regular payments. He had fees that had incurred that he had to pick up. He had interest that had occurred. He was in no position to continue. So when my partner called him, and by the way, my partner was not timing this with forbearance. My partner was doing what any successful real estate investor does. You just follow up. And as I teach, if you ever heard me teach about negotiations and follow-up, it's all about the timing at that point. Time becomes your best negotiation weapon. And this time, the time worked in our favor, because he's like, oh, I got to start paying. I don't have the money to pay. I'm ready to sell. Interesting fact. The seller has one of two options. Okay. The seller has one of two options. One, he can go down the foreclosure way, right? He could just basically let the cows go. He doesn't need to sell it to us. He doesn't sell it to anyone. No one's like putting a gun to his head and saying sell. But look at it from a seller's perspective. There's only two options. Option one is sell. Option two is let the house go, if you can't afford to keep it. If he lets it go, number one, foreclosure. Number two, credit hit. Number three, chances are, like if someone wants to rent one of my houses, properties, if I'm renting properties, or somebody wants to get a mortgage, what's the one thing everyone does? They want to know what happens in your last place. That's the only, I can tell you, when I used to have 408 buildings, doors, the only question we really cared about, we cared about two questions. One, tell me about your job. We want to connect with your job. And the second one, I just want to talk to your last person you talked to, who lived. That's it. So I'm not sure which, I think I'm on number 4 now, a chance of not being able to find a place, at least a place they want to stay in. The credit foreclosure stays with you for 7 years. And beyond that, there could be some legal repercussions. That's option 1. Option number 2, we come in and what do? We eliminate all the problems here. We give him some money, right? So now he's not walking, because when you're foreclosed on, you get no money, right? You understand that. Now we're actually putting money into his pocket. And by the way, he determined his was the price 180. We didn't even offer it. He said, I just need 180 right now. I'm gone. So he named his price. So we're giving him exactly what he wants. He's walking away with pocket money, and a lot more than just pocket money. We eliminate all this. We give him money, and off we go. Listen, I'm about to tell you, this is a game changer. There is millions of people this is about ready to start happening with, because we're at that year mark when COVID hit. And a lot of these people are like this seller. They have no idea. Like they literally have no idea, because when the bank said, or when the government said, you don't have to pay, no one asked the next question. Okay, but what happens when I do have to pay? No one asked that, right? No one cared. All everybody cared, it was like, even if you can, you don't have to. So now what's going to happen is millions and millions of people are going to be in the exact same position. Now, does that mean every single one of those is going to be a deal? No, absolutely not. But when you put millions and millions of opportunities into a pool, like a pool, right? We're buying off from a pool of sellers. And you all of a sudden start adding millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions. What does that do for us as an investors? It increases our opportunities. It increases our opportunities. And so when I was thinking about what is the State of the Union now, sometimes, as COVID was taking place, and by the way, you didn't need to understand at a very high level that this was an advantage for us as investors, and this was an advantage for us as problem solvers. We were going to be able to do more deals and solve more problems. You didn't have to be like at my level of thousands of deals deep to understand that. Like you have to be just at a very, very basic level. And so for months, I've been getting on here and saying it's only going to get better. But I've been saying it's only because what happened is the demand started, it was just building up demand. All you have to do is just talk to these sellers, and but now the dam is being let loose. It's being let loose because now it is taking place. Like before, it was just like you saw this dam, you saw this dam, you saw this dam. It was right here, right in front of you. And now all of a sudden, bam, it's busting wide open. It's busting right open. This is the time to take advantage of this opportunity. I don't know. Now, obviously, we're all going to come out. Things are going to straighten out. We're going to go back into this not equilibrium point, and we're going to be okay then too, because we know how to take that time. So the other thing I have to say is that it's a time-sensitive opportunity that we're facing right now, because we are going to come out of it. Things are going to get out of whack again. Ultimately, the pandemic will be behind us. The repercussions will be behind us. The real estate business will fall out of equilibrium. There'll be too much inventory. There'll be too little inventory. It'll be too easy to borrow money. It'll be too hard to find it and borrow money. It's just the same thing. And that's okay. That's okay, because we've been through those cycles and we know how to handle those cycles. But let's not even worry about that. I'll tell you, I used to have a mentor. His name is Reggie. And Reggie, he just passed away last year. And how he passed away how I found out about it, it was on the internet. I mean, Reggie was a big deal. I was on one of these sites, big sites, and literally boom. And I was like, oh my gosh, Reggie's dead. So Reggie was a big deal when he was alive. And what made him a big deal was he was a great businessman. As a matter of fact, he was Entrepreneurs Magazine Businessman of the Year many years ago. He was a big, big, big deal. And I did, what I've always tried to do in life is I try to level myself up. And the best way to level yourself up is just to connect with the right people. There is no better way to level yourself up to get to the next level than to connect yourself with the right people in any area of life. Health, wealth, happiness. Health, wealth, happiness, right? Those are the 3 lanes I stay in. Those are the 3 lanes I talk about all the time. Those are the 3 lanes I always encourage people to take advantage of. And as you level up in any of those things, it's all about getting with the right people. That's how you get to the next levels, right? And so Reggie was one of those level up people for me. He taught me a lot. He taught me a lot how to think about business, how to evaluate things, and beyond that, he and I had a great relationship for many, many years. And I remember one time Reggie told me, he said, Pete, in your business life, there will come times, and that, by the way, he said, Pete, it might only be 1 time in your life. It might be 2 times. It might be 3 times. But there'll be those times where it'll be like riding a wave on a waveboard, on a surfboard. And those of you that know anything about surfing, you know that when you get that wave, you just ride it. You don't think about nothing else. You just ride it and you ride it until the wave dies. He said that'll happen to you a couple times in business. And he says, when that happens, 2 things need to take place. 1, you better recognize it. You better recognize that you're on the wave. And number 2, all bets are off. All bets are off at that point. You just go for it. Because that wave will ultimately die out, as most things do. And when it comes to the State of the Union of the real estate investing, we're on a wave right now. And we're surfing it. And the only question is this: are you going to jump on for the wave? Whether you do it by yourself, or if you got all your ducks lined up in a row, or you do it with us at Partner Driven. The one thing I cannot tell you during this State of the Union is I don't know how long this wave will last. But because I don't know how to predict. People always ask me, what's going to happen? I don't know. If I knew, I'd be like, way further on in life, but I don't know how to predict. But what I could tell you, just like with any wave, it's just building right now. It's still building up, right? If you're a surfer, you know what I mean. There's waves, they go up and then they start cresting back and then they crash. But because of this forbearance, because of the lasting effects of what's taking place here in the real estate market, it's building up. It's building up. And we need to step up, because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to need a lot of our help, and there's not enough investors out there to be able to help them. Because the other thing that this COVID did, it wiped a lot of investors out. By the way, for all the wrong reasons. They just got scared. They misinterpreted what's taking place, and they got out of the business. The second reason it wiped a bunch of investors out during COVID is that this, what I was telling you in terms of right now, these strategies before we could execute with no money. So there are a lot of wannabe investors in the marketplace now for these no money strategies. A lot of them have wiped out. You actually do need money, like to execute a lot of wholesale deals if you want to structure them at the highest level, not at the amateur hour level. And so that in itself cleared out the playing field. By the way, I look at that as a positive. Okay, I look at it as a positive, because now if you're a mature investor, knowing what you do, knowing how to write up the contracts the right way, how to execute deals, this is an incredible opportunity. I heard Gary Keller from KW, Keller Williams. So I heard one time many years ago, Gary Keller talking about it, and he was talking about these spikes in the marketplace. And he said that, when the market crashes, what it does is it gets rid of a lot of real estate agents for obvious reasons. Markets crash, not enough inventory. He said, but here's the very interesting thing, what happens during market changes, whether it's an up market, down market, and all this. It absolutely clears the field. But what happens in turn, that good realtors actually make more money during any market cycle, whether it's crashing or up, because the competition clears the field. Remember, I told you there's an equilibrium on the buyer and the seller side. The other side of the equation, why you want to do this now, there's a lot less investors. Now, there's always the wannabe, the amateur hour, the guy that goes to one seminar. Now he's he's an investor. That's not our competition, okay? But the playing field has gotten bigger, meaning there's more opportunities. The players have gotten smaller. And that's another positive thing. The state of the union, guys, in the real estate industry, it's phenomenal right now. I can tell you in 22 years, I've never seen what's taking place right now. If you're in the business right now, you better take advantage of it. Meaning you better know how to take advantage of it the right way. You better know what you're doing. You better know how to structure deals the right way, how to position yourself. If you're in the market now and you're stuck, then I'm telling you the partner-driven model may be exactly what you're looking for, because we'll get you unstuck. We're not going to do the work for you. We're not going to do any of that stuff, but we're going to shortcut the system for you. No question about it. So the reason I keep on coming back every Tuesday night is because I want to share, I want to teach, I want to educate, I want to show you what, how this thing looks from somebody who's been at it for a long time. But the other reason I keep on coming back every Tuesday night is because I want to share the message of partner driven, and I want to get more partners to do deals with. Because everything I just told you, I buy into. There's some people out there that say it, but they don't claim it, right? You ever see these television critics, they get on TV and then they drive home at night. And then in the morning they get back on TV and they blah, 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 blah the whole day, give advice, and they tell everything that's going on. And like, well, why are you not doing any of this? I'm an expert. No, I say it and I claim it. I am all into the real estate business right now. So everything I tell you is what we're doing, is the reason the partner-driven model exists. And so the reason I personally get on these things every Tuesday is because I'm looking for more partners to do deals with. My commitment to you is that myself and the team around me will coach you, will mentor you, will generate leads for you, will provide you all the capital to close on deals, to do deals with, and then we just sell them and split the profits. So if you're a partner tonight, just level up. Let's get you to the next level. If you're not a partner tonight, but you're like, I'm in, I want you to text me the word I'm in directly to my cell phone at 404-915-9685. Somebody can put that in chat. My cell phone, and I want you to just put the word I'm in. If you're in, send me a text, and you're ready to start doing deals immediately at 404-915-9685. And all I want you to tell me is that you're in. Say, I'm in. Here we go. Look, this is what I love. If you happen to be talking to a team member here already and you just want to reconnect with the same team member and you're ready to get started tonight, then we just want you to call them, and they are at, I don't know if I have their phone number here, but if somebody could, it's 770-746-8585, 770-746-8585. So if you've already been talking to a team member here and you just want to connect directly with that team member to get rolling tonight, just call that number at 770-746-8585. Or if you're just like, okay, I'm in, I need to do this, then just text me directly at area code 404-915-9685. And all I want you to say is put the words I'm in. All right, guys. Well, that's all I have for you tonight. So the bottom line is this: the State of the Union in real estate, it's awesome. It is fantastic. It's an incredible time to be in this business. I could go on and on and on, but I've given you kind of a top-down view, a very, kind of a 20-foot overview of what's taking place. It's a great time to be in the business. We love being in the business. We love the ability to do deals with partners across the United States. So on behalf of myself, most importantly, the team behind me that makes all this possible, and the team behind me that makes all our partner-driven deals possible. My name is Peter Vekselman. I enjoyed it, and we'll see you same time, same place next week. Thanks, guys.